Right. I know I kind of touched on this a little bit, but how important to you is the logistics side of basketball operations for a program?
I mean, kind of from the outside looking in, it's kind of hard to for people to see kind of what like a director of operations or the operations side
Right.
looks like in any program. Just because when you turn on a game, you just see the product on the floor, and then you just kind of see wins and losses. But a lot of people don't necessarily understand how important this stuff is behind the scenes. I mean, at the end of the day, you only want your head coach and your assistant coaches to worry about coaching. You don't want to have them worry about if a kid's how well a kid's doing in a class, or are we gonna like get our food delivered on time, or what does our hotel look like. You really need to make sure that all they have to worry about is coaching, because I mean at the end of the day, top level programs are run well from top to bottom. Like when I
Yeah.
was at Indiana, our director of operations there, Liz Honiger, who I interned with, she was always on top of stuff. She was way ahead of the game. She was always thinking the next step forward.
Yes.
And I think that's a reason why we won. Our coaches never had to worry about if something was going on behind the scenes. They had a high level of trust in her and knew that she was doing everything to the best of her ability. And I think that's a huge piece. And even at Illinois State, we were able to win there just because my first year, Stephanie Kuzmanich, who left us, and then Jordan Alford, who's the DOBO now, and as well as myself, when I did a little bit of work,
Uh-huh.
we put a lot of effort and care into what we did, because we didn't want, like, when you have your coaches worrying about the little things like
Right.
hotels and food, it takes a lot of time away from scouting, from player
Absolutely.
development, from recruiting. And especially with today's chaos that is recruiting, with transfers and summer sessions and having to be places all the time, they really don't have the time to worry about that stuff. And I consider myself lucky at this current point in my career where I can just kind of focus on the behind the scenes stuff, and I don't have to go fly out to see a recruit on the weekend on top of it, or go see high school games in the middle of the season.
Right.
I'm very happy with where I'm currently at. So I don't take that for granted. I want to make sure that my coaches never have to worry about what's going on with logistical things and on my end.
Wow, that's really good. I know that like especially for like you said, head coaches, they don't need to be worried about scout. They don't, I mean not scout, but they don't need to be worried about little things like okay, like you said, the food, the playing issues, different things like that. They just want to worry about scout, recruit, whatever the next game. And as a Dobo, you kind of do have to work. Everything is behind the scene, and y'all are not the ones right in the limelight, right? But like you said, if something goes wrong, as anything in the itinerary, the day is shifted off. So you got to make sure that y'all have the very important pieces of making sure everything is in a line. And so I look at Dobos as the really the masterpiece behind all of the work, because y'all are doing all the dirty and all the phone calls, whereas to everybody else, they just want to go and do scout and everything else. So I just think that is so important, the logistics side of having everything in order. And I know that, like I said, Dobos don't get a lot of limelight, but I love, I'm always close to our Dobos because I want to help out as much as I can. And that's an important piece for sure. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've never been someone who's like needed that attention or needed
Yeah.
that limelight. I know like a lot of people, especially growing up with like a sibling who's a superstar basketball player, everyone's like, aren't you jealous of like all the attention she's getting, or everyone knows who she is, and you're kind of doing this up behind the scenes. And that's never been me. I've never like really needed that attention or needed that recognition, as long as I know that I'm doing a good job and the people that I work for are seeing that I'm doing really hard work and doing a good job. That's kind of all that's really mattered to me at the end of the day. So,
Absolutely. That's all that matters. Absolutely. Last question. What are you looking forward to the most this upcoming season?
see, that's a very interesting question. I think that kind of what drew me to St. Thomas was really the chance to kind of build something here.
Mhm.
When I went to Indiana, they had a lot of pre-established success. The first year I was there, they won the WNIT, so they weren't at the level they are now, but they had already seen a good amount of success.
Mhm.
And then when I went to Illinois State, we were fresh off going to the NCAA tournament and playing Iowa. So kind of the last two schools I were at had already seen like what success looks like, had already tasted success. And I think that with St. Thomas going into just our fourth year of Division I basketball, and just kind of wanting to bring that winning mentality and winning culture to St. Thomas, because I know how much fun winning is. And I know a lot of people are like, you can learn from winning and losing, but I'd much rather learn from winning
When
than
it's
losing. It's a lot easier pill to swallow, believe me.
yeah.
Um, and they've had like steady growth. I mean, from year one, they were, or from year one in Division 1, they were at the bottom of the conference. Not this, the second year they were seventh in the conference, and this past year they were fifth. So I kind of want to
Mhm.
help them
That's
continue
the
that
goal.
steady growth. And we just finished one game under 500 last year, so still haven't really had that level of winning at the Division 1 competition level in the Summit League. So I'm really excited because there's a lot of great things happening. We have pretty much everyone returning, and St. Thomas is getting a brand new $70 million arena next year.
Ooh,
I'll get to be a
yeah,
part of. Yeah,
yeah.
it's really exciting, and just kind of like there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot to be kind of excited about. And I really think that for some people, this school is kind of a mystery. Like we
Mhm.
don't advertise ourselves much. We don't like put our names out there too much. We're kind of very selective about the kids that we recruit and kind of what we're looking for. So I'm really excited for people to start learning about the school as we continue to have success year after year. It's going to be really interesting just to see how we grow, because I mean it's a beautiful area. I mean, it's the location's outstanding. It's in
Mhm.
the Twin Cities, right between
Yeah,
Minneapolis and St. Paul. So you're like, I'm very
yeah.
excited to kind of be in a big city because I've never lived in one. I could go to a Twins game in 10 minutes. I go to Timberwolves game in 10 minutes. I mean, there's every professional sports team here. So I'm kind of really excited about to live in a big city. And I mean, lastly, it's just kind of being able to grow with a new group and kind of learn like how a new group of kids operates. I think that's the biggest piece, is what kind of draws me to work in college basketball. Just kind of being able to help kids achieve their dreams and kind of having them grow as players, but not only as players, but people as well, and kind of finding out what they're interested in. And especially me being on the operations side, having very close relationships with them, like with what's going on in their personal lives, what's going on in the classroom, just kind of learning their interests. I think that's something that's going to be kind of really exciting to me for going to this new school.
Absolutely. That's on point. I love how big you are on the relationship piece and really getting to know your players and everything. I wish you the best of luck. Like I said, congrats again. It's different seeing you in purple. I'm used to seeing you in black and red, but at least I don't gotta go against you no more. We still go against you, but not against you. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool. I know, your ties are very big and large, and like you said, Indiana and Illinois State. So I know you're gonna always rock with them, but it's so amazing to see you at St. Thomas, and like you said, being able to help with the development and just the upbringing, and hopefully go from fifth to third and just continue to move up. And so I would definitely be rooting with you. I'll be in touch with you, and I really appreciate you taking some time out to be a part of my Zoom meeting. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm still getting used to the purple as well. You know, Indiana was red, Illinois
Yep.
State's red, and now I don't really have much purple, so I got a sneakers app and Nike
Yeah,
app, just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
buying some
And
more
y'all
stuff.
Nike too tight. You gotta get you some purple dunks or something. You gotta be sporting on the sideline like you do.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. I thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.